What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of Hero or Zero here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. My name is Shaun, and joining me as always is my partner in crime, Mr. Ciara Lawler.
That was almost too normal.
It's the regular intro, yeah.
Normally there's like an improv bit. I get thrown.
Yeah, with no preparation.
Friday. No prep. Well, I mean, it's an improv bit, Shaun. But should we write the improv next time?
I think it would be better if we planned out the improv, to be honest.
Whose line would be so much better if they would just plan it out, I just think. Someone just needs to write that down.
That's what everyone's always said about that show. But speaking of shows, this show. What's this show, Connor?
Segues! This show is Hero or Zero, where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. Now, I normally always choose DC characters. Shaun normally always chooses Marvel characters, and it is Shaun's week because I went last week, which means he has to do a bit of work. Shaun, You're up. You're up to the bat.
Okay.
I'm interested to know what shit, nonsensical, ridiculous Marvel character we're going to hear of this week.
Connor, I am covering a character who, he is a superhero who failed about as bad as anyone has ever failed in Marvel Comics.
You should have went for the head?
No, not Thor, Connor.
Okay.
I am covering, you might know the name of this dude. Speedball is his name.
No, I don't know Speedball.
Right, well, he later becomes a kind of an anti-hero called Penance.
That's much cooler.
It's so much cooler, but the way he gets there, absolutely twisted.
But like, if you ask a 15-year-old, what's your nickname? Penance.
Penance.
It's my nickname.
It's also my band name as it goes.
Penance and the Crew.
So I'm going to quickly run through Speedball, and then it's going to segue. There's going to come a point, and you're going to realise, that's what this guy did.
Okay.
So Robbie Baldwin was born and raised in Connecticut, the son of Maddie and Justin Baldwin. Their overbearing and smothering parenting allegedly turned him into an angst-ridden teenager. Now here's the thing, Connor. His father wanted him to go into law, but his free spirit of a mother wanted him to go into the arts.
We've tried everything. We've tried absolutely nothing.
And we're all out of ideas. And so, after school, Robbie interned at Hammond Labs, so a science research facility.
There's somebody working in a lab. This is going to be good.
Well, Connor, he snuck in to watch an experiment tapping into an experiment.
Nobody knows he's there.
No one knows he's there. No one's prepared for his presence.
What's going to happen?
Well, the experiment, Connor, they were tapping into an extra-dimensional energy source. And
you got that right, they were.
They didn't know Robbie was there. And so Robbie accidentally irradiated by it.
No, I was waiting for it. And then a ball bit him. And he turned into Speedball.
He became very, very, very quick. The energy, the radiation, gave Robbie superpowers. So whenever he was hit with an impact above a certain strength, he would become surrounded by a protective kinetic energy field, which manifested in the form of a muscular body, a spandex costume, and floating bubbles in the air around him.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Now you said a lot of scientific words. It sounded very smart, very
I've snuck into some experiments myself, Connor.
That explains a few things. But me and the listeners, I don't want to put it on them, Shaun. Some of us are idiots, right? Some, right? And I want that broken down in a way that I could maybe digest it a little bit. So he gets punched and turns into a big muscly man.
Yeah, pretty much. You know how Billy Batson can say the word Shazam and he becomes a full-grown strong man with a costume already on him?
Yes.
It's basically that, but he gets hit in the face instead.
And does it always have to be the face, or can he get like a slight, like stub his toe, and then he turns into a human man?
It's above a certain strength he can absorb the kinetic energy. You know, like Black Panther's suit in the movie.
Okay.
How it just like an impact will hit it and it'll store that up. That happens to Robbie but he becomes
I have
a
questions.
strongman. Yeah, go ahead.
My other question is just, so, he's Robbie. How old is he? 15?
Yeah, probably like 16, 17 at this point. Peter Parker kind of age.
So if somebody, say, I don't know, the Hulk punches him in the stomach, does he feel it, or does he automatically just turn into the grown superhero?
He won't be harmed by a kinetic impact.
Fuck me, okay.
Very
cool.
good power. This is a guy, you punch him and he becomes a superhero.
Oh, so the more you hit him, the stronger he becomes.
Kind of. It's the more kinetic energy he has, meaning he generates more of these energy bubbles around him, and he can also throw those bubbles. He can use those bubbles as a shield. He can use them to stop bullets in midair. It's very powerful.
Bubbles. But when you say bubbles, you mean literal bubbles?
Like balls, like speed balls.
Okay,
kinetic energy balls. Speed balls, if you will.
Protons, neutrons, of course, all of them.
Quarks and stuff.
This is why we fail science.
I did physics for leaving cert, I'll have you know.
I failed.
So now, as acting as a kind of vigilante superhero, he tried out for Avengers membership. But Captain America rejected him because he viewed his fighting style as too unrefined.
Yeah, but he can't be hurt.
Yeah, but he's erratic, you know, he can't fight well. He's a danger to other people he's fighting with.
Now, I know Captain America's a much better person than me, but you stick that little child in the middle of the battlefield, let the villains punch themselves out, and then we sneak around the back and kick them.
It's a bold strategy, and it could work. But this is like, he's like a kind of a C-level character trying out for the Avengers, Connor.
Makes sense. He went to the top.
He went too big too soon, I think. Yeah. But he eventually joined a group of young adult superheroes called the New Warriors. And the New Warriors is where he really started to come into his own. That was his first kind of team that he was on. Now, the New Warriors attempted to apprehend a group of supervillains in Stamford, Connecticut for a reality television show that they were making.
Oh no.
Nitro.
I know what happens.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
I knew there would be that moment.
The minute you said reality TV show, I know what's coming.
Yeah, it's...
And you mentioned Captain America's in this. Maybe Iron Man's going to pop up. Maybe they might have a disagreement.
They might disagree on how best to proceed following this event. So,
cool.
Nitro, one of the criminals, created an explosive blast that killed 612 civilians, including 60 children, as well as all of the New Warriors, with the exception of Robbie Baldwin.
So he can't be killed.
He can't be killed. He absorbed all of this kinetic energy. He was launched over 500 miles away.
Fucking hell.
And
just to let everyone know, the idea is that they're on a reality show, and it's like a bunch of teenage heroes, and they're like, we're going to stop this villain in this school.
Yeah.
And the cameras are like following them, and it's like a reality show in Marvel's universe.
Exactly. There, and I think Robbie has the line, "This'll be so good for ratings," and he drags them all into the fight.
Yeah, and so they all go in, but this guy just explodes and kills everyone. And everyone's like, "Oh shit! It's a YouTube prank gone wrong, gone sexual." But this time, seriously, people have
gone
died.
murdery. Yeah, like a lot of people died. A lot of children died. 612 people died. This is the event that kicks off the Civil War in Marvel Comics. Robbie is the only survivor of the Stamford incident, and his kinetic energy field kept him alive after the blast, but it actually burned out after that, so he loses his powers.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
After awakening from a coma, Robbie was arrested by S.H.I.E.L.D. and placed in federal prison. A while later, he discovered that his powers were still functional, and he was moved to the negative zone, which had like a prison for superpowered individuals. Reed Richards, who created this prison, offered Robbie the chance to testify before the US Congress about what happened. on the steps of the Capitol building, Robbie was shot by an assailant and taken away in an ambulance. People fucking hate Robbie Baldwin because he survived and it's his fault.
I mean, he killed 600 people and he's the only one that survived.
Yeah.
Well, he's the reason 600 people are dead. He didn't kill them, but...
No, but you try and explain that, because that footage is out there of him saying this will be great for ratings, and explain that to the mother whose child was in that school.
So the whole world is like, we've nobody to blame out of that team of 6 that went, other than this one guy we have on video going, this will be great.
Yeah, and you have, and Robbie has lost... For a while he lost his powers. He lost all of his friends in the New Warriors. He lost any connection he had to the superhero community. And he hates himself more than anyone hates him.
Shit.
He has survivor's guilt out the ass. He is miserable at this point. And after this, he agrees to comply with the Superhuman Registration Act, which is what Civil War is all about. He makes his identity known that Robbie Baldwin is Speedball, because everyone knows it already anyway at this point. He then orders a new suit. The suit was an armour that featured 612 internal spikes that caused him constant pain, symbolic of the 612 deaths he felt responsibility for.
Fuck me, that is edgy. That is Edgelord himself has turned up. Okay.
60 of these spikes actually puncture his skin every time he puts it on. These 60 spikes are symbolic of the 60 children that died in the explosion.
Fucking hell.
This is the most metal emo shit, and I love it.
Do you know what he would do well in Titans?
This is a Titans character. Absolutely. So, excuse me, after the Civil War, Robbie had the status of a free citizen. So he often went to a coffee shop and wrote repeating numbers down in his notebook. This action was diagnosed as post-traumatic stress, as all of the numbers that Robbie was writing down were multiples of 612. So he just can't move on from this event, ever.
Right. Okay.
He then goes on to join the Thunderbolts, which are kind of like the Suicide Squad in Marvel. So he can... It's fucked. His Speedball powers, they're back, but they can only be activated through pain now, which is why the suit is so painful to wear. 1, to remind him of everything that he did, but 2, to activate his powers. And that's his penance, and that's why he goes by that name.
Jesus Christ.
It's...
that is proper, edgy. And I'm assuming the public still hate him at this point.
Yeah, the public still hate him, still hate Speedball for the most part. A lot of them don't know that Penance used to be Speedball. That's kind of kept under wraps for obvious reasons. He had a bit of a secret rebrand. While on the Thunderbolts, Penance encountered Nitro, the man who caused the explosion. He was in the dungeons of Castle Doom, and Dr. Doom gave Nitro to Robbie, and Robbie tortured him.
Fuck.
Robbie he brought him to the point of death and then stopped.
Yeah.
Just to let him live.
I'm assuming Dr. Doom was doing all this for his own gain.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Doom thought this was hilarious. But there's also a weird sense of no, you deserve revenge against this dude.
Your man's I'm not Dr. Happy, am I? Come on, we'll bring him in. Let's let lad in. He's the reason why all of his life is over and all of his friends are dead and all those kids are dead. Let's bring him in face to face, like a Jerry Springer show.
So years later, Hank Pym founded Avengers Academy. So this is basically it's to set up a young superhero team that isn't the X-Men or the Young Avengers. They set up Avengers Academy in the comics, and had Robbie, who by this point had processed some things, and he was now going by Speedball again, wearing the old Speedball costume and everything. He hired Robbie as a teacher. He was still quite miserable, still had the attitude of Penance, and it took some time for him to move past this. But one day, he takes the students of Avengers Academy on a field trip to Stamford, Connecticut, and he shows them the memorial that was made to the 612 people that died. And he uses this as kind of a lesson, like, this is what happens if you mess up.
Like if you don't use your powers for good.
Yeah, like, I did this. This is my fault. And, like, people are coming up to Robbie while he's here and saying, you killed my brother. And he's like, I know, and I'm sorry. Like, and that, no matter what he ever does in his life, that's what people will remember Robbie Baldwin for.
And yeah, it doesn't matter how many people he saves. It's not about that at that point.
No, and it's not about him either. Like, he doesn't want to be forgiven in a lot of ways.
Yeah, because he needs an awful lot of therapy. He needs, although I don't know how much therapy you would possibly need for that guilt.
That's the thing, and like he eventually does get therapy. One of the nice things Hank Pym does in his entire life is he gets Robbie Baldwin therapy.
First of all, there's only 3 people you've mentioned. Reed Richards, known bastard. Hank Pym, known bastard. Dr. Doom, known bastard. But I mean, he owns it. I'm willing to accept Doom. But the other two, known bastards...
Doom doesn't act like he's a hero, is the thing.
No. The other two, why is he hanging out with these people? I mean,
I think they're the only ones who'll talk to him at this point.
They're like, we've killed a lot of people as well, lad. Don't worry about it.
The reason that Hank got him psychiatric help is that, remember when I said his power was activated by pain at this point?
Yeah.
That didn't go away when he started going by Speedball again. So he used to self-harm before fighting.
Oh, okay. Jesus. This is proper edgy stuff. I mean, this reminds me of 90s comic books in, like, Batman.
Yeah, where it's, like, just the darkest place you can take a character. Like, and then a little bit further than that, even.
Yeah, like, let's... In the 90s, all they were doing was just like getting heroes and like, how do we make them as edgy as humanly possible? We want them as fucked up, just really dark shit. Batman's spine gets broken, then Azrael starts killing people.
Jason Todd becomes Red Hood.
Like, that's in terms of the DC side. So it's interesting to know Marvel, like, they're doing Civil War and all this, but isn't Civil War like 2000s? I thought that was like...
Yeah, it's like early 2000s is the whole Civil War run, and I think it goes for a year or two, quite honestly.
But like, it's very reminiscent of all that. This character feels like it doesn't belong in like 2010.
No.
It's very weird.
It's very strange. It feels like he doesn't belong in Marvel in a lot of ways. It's a very DC mentality for a superhero.
Like a DC, but like Justice League Dark version of DC.
Yeah. Very, very dark.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And so just quickly then onto powers and abilities, like his main thing is the kinetic energy field. So he can absorb kinetic energy and create what's called speedballs. They're little bundles of kinetic energy that he can control. Within the kinetic field, it's nearly impossible for Robbie to be hurt. As stated, he survived an explosion that killed 612 people.
He's basically like indestructible.
Pretty much, yeah. Like he's a very hard man to kill.
I have a question. I have a very nerdy question.
Go ahead.
It relates to Dune. So shields in Dune, they work when you go real quick and you attack it, right? So they bounce things off. But if you've got a very slow weapon and it goes through the shield in Dune, I'm thinking kinetic energy version of this. Could we harm him with a very slow moving dart?
Yes, you're exactly right. It's once it's over a certain force, the field activates. So a bullet or a punch or things like that. But if you just like slowly move your hand onto his shoulder and then like leave a grenade inside the field, he's dead. Like
the old slowly leave a grenade on a shoulder.
Old shoulder grenade.
You do a yawn before it. Grenade.
You're both watching a movie together and you're faking a yawn.
He thinks he's getting lucky, but he's going to get blown up.
He went to... there's a character I've never covered, but he's Doc Samson. He is like a therapist for superheroes in Marvel Comics.
Oh, okay.
He showed Robbie that his powers were affected by his mindset, and he could reactivate his speedball powers with relaxed and positive thinking, helping to overcome his guilt from being Penance. He's also got telepathic immunity, very good at computer hacking, and his weaknesses are deliberate self-harm and PTSD.
I think the PTSD is probably the main thing that's really getting me.
It's part of him at this point, though. Like, there'll always be some element of that to the character.
That's fucking... I didn't think anyone survived to cause civil war. I thought everybody died.
No, yeah, one man did, and it's the man who arguably it's his fault.
Oh, so, like, that's worse.
And like the incident itself, awful, but everything that happens in civil war can be traced back to Robbie Baldwin.
And every piece of harm to everybody else in Civil War, and all the attacks and all the kills, everyone's like, it was him. It all started from that guy.
It's all his fault. Very quickly, on the Marvel 1 to 7 rating system, Robbie has intelligence of 2, strength of 2, speed of 3, durability of 5, energy projection of 6, and fighting skills of 3.
5 and 6 is very strong.
Very, very strong. Like that, like 7 is like basically godlike. So he is right on the edge of that. Jesus.
Okay, so I'm trying to think then, who could beat him? Like if you're just going to general fight, because they can't slow down.
That's the thing, they can't slow down. He's immune to telepathy, so you can't even get like a Professor X or anything in there.
He'd kill Professor X.
He would murder Professor X. Like he murdered those kids.
That's his opening line. I'm going to murder you like I murdered those kids.
Like, I think the biggest thing he is susceptible to is just people talking to him, really. Like, Doom can get under his skin. Yeah. Like, Doom is able to get under his skin and be like, no, you should... That's Nitro. Like, you should get one back on him. You should really let all your anger out on him right now. Like, he's very susceptible to that kind of persuasion.
Manipulation.
Yes. Not necessarily, like, messing with his mind using powers, but just, like, needling at him and just being, like, knowing his weak points and taking advantage of those.
Jesus Christ. That's such an interesting character I knew nothing about.
Yeah, he's very underrated, I would think. Now he's kind of mostly Speedball, and then every so often he'll relapse into being angry and sad all the time.
When they need a comic book cover.
Yeah, exactly. But the Penance suit, for the Instagram, if you can find the Penance suit, it is emo heaven. You would love it.
Does it listen to Evanescence, Bring Me to Life?
Oh, it plays it out of a speaker in the back.
He walks around with his iPod Nano playing it.
Oh, he does. Oh, you better believe he does, as we all did. But that is my report, Connor, on Robbie Baldwin, Speedball, Penance, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever you want to call him. That's very good, Shaun. Very, very good. So, I mean, if you like what you hear here, if you hear here, but
hear.
If you liked what you hear here, then you can go back and listen to any of our other episodes. We've done hundreds of comic book characters, DC, Marvel. We've covered it, a whole bunch of them. A lot of them bad, a lot of them good.
Bad, but one a week for like 3.5 years. So you do the maths.
So it's a few of them. And so we have a whole bunch more episodes if you want to go listen to any of them. Maybe one of your favourites is in the list. Just give that a listen. Hopefully we did them justice. If we didn't, then send your letters to Shaun Meehan at Here's for Hire.
That email doesn't exist.
You can also give us a like and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on, because that would really, really help us out. People have been saying nice things in the reviews, and it's nice to read. It's just nice.
Thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it.
She made all those multiple accounts. And also, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Here's for Hire podcast. Over there, we've got a whole bunch more extra content, lots of extra episodes, movie reviews, Disney Plus series reviews, just a whole bunch of extra stuff. If you liked what you heard here.
Yeah, the most recent thing we did was we reviewed Wild Mountain Thyme. Terrible movie. Borderline offensive. But if you want to hear two Irish men discuss that and see how we feel, head on over to Patreon. It's up there.
I've actually heard very good reviews of our Moonfall review as well. I've had several people say to me, I didn't see the movie, thank you for watching it for me. That we did that on Movie Mondays a few weeks ago. So if you haven't seen Moonfall, it's a movie where the moon falls.
Moon is the villain in that particular movie. We will jump on all of these bad movie grenades for you people.
You can also follow us on Twitter. It's at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Heroes for Hire Podcast. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. We also have a Facebook discussion group. It's Detective Divilment's discussion group. And you can head on over there just to have a chat with any other listeners and just give your thoughts on certain episodes and all that stuff. But most importantly, you can just tell one human being that we exist.
Just the one, please.
So I've been Ciara Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.